Hey guys, my name is Sid. Welcome to another vlog. Today we're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5. I've had the PS5 for over 3 weeks now. I've had lots of time to play with it. I finished a couple of games on it. So today I wanted to share my final thoughts on the PS5 as of right now during the launch window. So let's get started. Now the first thing is let's talk about the hardware. Now there's two components to the hardware with the PlayStation 5. One is the console itself. It is a big console compared to all the other consoles I own. This is by far the biggest console. It's about the size of a small form factor computer. Now I do like the looks of it. I got the digital edition, which I think is the better looking of the two between the digital and the disc-based version. The digital edition does look a bit sleeker, and overall I'm quite happy with the design of it. I do wish it was a little bit smaller though. But considering its performance, I don't mind the little bit of extra size. Now in terms of hardware, the system is pretty quiet compared to my PS4 Pro, which sounds like a jet engine. The PS5 barely makes any sound at all and overall feels like a better experience. I do like the fact that they've included a USB-C port on the front of the console, which is a high bandwidth port, which should allow for some cool accessories maybe in the future, which might not be possible with the traditional USB-A port. Maybe something like a PSVR 2 might just plug in directly into the front of your PS5 and you'll be able to get a 4K resolution on the display of your VR headset. So I'm glad that they did include that within the console itself. Now let's talk about the controller, which I found to be the star of the show. Now this is the main way that you interact with any console, and that is the game controller. Now I think PlayStation has improved the DualShock 4, which I quite enjoyed the DualShock 4 actually, but the DualSense controller is something that really feels different. The ergonomics are quite a bit better than the DualShock 4. It does have a little bit of a sharp edge on this side, which helps you kind of grip the controller better. I love the new haptic system that's in this controller. If you guys have a PS5 and haven't played Astro's Playroom yet, you have to check it out. It's a great demonstration of this controller. Now the best way I can describe it is it's got very subtle control over the vibration of the controller, and there's separation between the left side and the right side of the controller, and maybe somewhere in between as well. So what happens is that when you are playing, you can feel the directionality of the vibration as well as the subtlety. So it's also got a pretty decently loud speaker in the controller as well. So when you're playing something like Astro's Playroom and running over a particular surface, each footstep might vibrate the controller in a slightly different way as well, in a slightly different direction. It doesn't feel crazy revolutionary or anything like that, but it does give this slight more, finesse to the vibrations that just feels nice. It's something that you will get accustomed to pretty quickly, like on Spider-Man as well. The controller does have the same system, but after a while you just tend to forget about it. But when you go back to a system that doesn't have it, that's when you start missing it. Now, the other cool thing about the controller is the trigger buttons on this. Trigger buttons can actually have different tension on it. Certain situations you can only press it halfway, and then the rest of the way you have to press it super hard. Programmers can decide on how much tension they want to have on the controller at what point. Now this I think is more of a difference than the rumble actually, and it allows you to have this subtle feeling. In Spider-Man Miles Morales, for example, when you're swinging, at the apex of your swing, you feel the vibration through the controller as well as the tension on your trigger releasing, so you know exactly when you need to hit that next swing. And it's quite interesting feeling, and does feel next gen. The controller also supports a mic directly within it, which is nice. It's also got a mute option on the controller itself, so you can mute the system or the controller. I didn't know this. I thought I had a bug in my PlayStation, but if you hold down the mute button on this, it mutes the whole system for you. The touchpad is back and even more sensitive, I feel, more precise than the previous one, which is nice. It's also got the 6-axis control, which the DualShock 4 had. So overall, I think this is an amazing controller, and it definitely does give it a distinct advantage over the Xbox Series X. Compared to the Xbox Series X, the PlayStation does have a next-gen feeling operating system as well, just because it's different. As soon as you boot it up, it's got a different boot up chime, it's got a different user interface. They've redone the whole operating system in a new way. It's super snappy. Navigating between the tiles is super fast. The way the graphic artwork loads for every game that you select is very cool. Just the system overall has this amazing snappiness. I do dislike the new card system though. You're in a game and you hit the PS button, it brings up these cards. Now in a few situations, like in Miles Morales, where I was trying to get some trophy or something like that, it was a little bit helpful. But overall, I much prefer getting main system preferences, like I just want to shut down the PS5. Now it adds a bunch of steps compared to the PS4. A bit more painful, and the cards don't seem that useful as of right now, where it justifies the additional complexity in the operating system to get a simple task like just shutting down your console. Didn't really love the cards, love the rest of the UI. And in that sense, again, the PlayStation 5 feels more next gen than the Xbox Series X. So let's talk about the games. I played and completed 2 games, which is Astro's Playroom and Spider-Man Miles Morales. And I spent about 3 to 4 hours in Days Gone, which is a previous generation game. It's a PS4 game, but being upgraded for the PS5, 60 frames a second. So just wanted to check out all these different experiences. Now, Astrobot's Playroom is an amazing game. It's pretty short. It just takes 3 to 4 hours to complete it, but it's a really good demonstration of what the DualSense controller can do. It kind of utilizes all the different functionality of it, the triggers, the vibrations, even the 6-axis control and the touchpad. Everything is like integrated into that game really well, and I really enjoyed the VR version of Astro as well. So this was a treat, and if you're a long-time PlayStation fan like I am, it's got a lot of PlayStation Easter eggs within it, so it's something that you'd really enjoy doing. Definitely don't miss out on Astro's Playroom if you have a PS5. The second game I tried out was Spider-Man's Miles Morales, and I loved the game. It is an absolutely fantastic game. I really enjoyed the first Spider-Man game as well, but I could see the quality jump in Spider-Man Miles Morales, especially with all the effects when you're fighting with the electricity and all. Like Miles Morales has these electrical powers, and when you see that in HDR 4K playing in fidelity mode, so like the best graphics with ray trace reflections and all that, like you can see reflections in Spider-Man's eyes, and you can see reflections in the walls, and as you're walking around, just the lighting effects and stuff look absolutely amazing. In that sense, I did feel like Spider-Man was really a breathtaking graphical experience. And the other thing about Spider-Man was the amazing load times. As soon as you start the game, you can instantly start playing it. Even when you jump between save points, there is no loading. Like you literally go into the subway stop and come out. There is no loading screen at all. The draw distances are amazing. Just the whole game just feels like such a fluid experience, and not having to wait for load screens is something that is amazing. Once I was done with the game, I actually went back and switched it to 60 frames a second, and I was amazed by how much smoother the game feels. And yes, the graphic quality is turned down a little bit. You lose the ray trace reflections, but just the smoothness of playing as Spider-Man in 60 frames a second was amazing. You can go either way. Go with fidelity or performance mode. You're going to enjoy the game regardless, and you're going to feel the graphical boost either way, because 60 frames a second has a different appeal compared to the fidelity mode, and you're going to enjoy both of them. So give both of them a shot. Why not? Now, coming to Days Gone, again, like I was playing this on my PS4 Pro and now playing it on the PS5, the 60 frames a second was a huge jump. I did find the HDR effects also to be enhanced a little bit. Definitely an improvement in many ways over the PS4 version, just because of that higher frame rate as well. It's just so much more enjoyable to play, so much smoother. I didn't notice any frame tearing issues like I did in Valhalla on the Xbox. So overall, I'm super happy with the PlayStation 5. I love that they have backward compatibility on it. Anybody who missed out on a PlayStation 4 can go ahead and buy a PlayStation 5 and get some amazing experiences. And the best part is that PlayStation has given it to you for free if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber. You have access to some of the best PlayStation games in their catalog, and I would say this is an answer to Xbox's Game Pass. It's not as good as Xbox Game Pass, But if you just bought a PlayStation 5 and subscribed to the PlayStation Plus program for the first time and you want a bunch of games to play, there's hundreds of hours of amazing games available for free to PlayStation Plus subscribers on the PS5, and I would say you will be more than happy with your money spent on PlayStation Plus and the PS5. The other thing I wanted to mention about the PlayStation 5 is that I spent less money on my PS5 than I did on the Xbox Series X. Now granted, I didn't get the disc-based version, and if I did, they'd be about the same price, but PlayStation allows you to have the option of a diskless version with the same specs, where Xbox is giving you a graphically inferior product for, you know, $200 less. So if you want to save money and get a really good next-gen console, you can get the PlayStation 5 non-disc version and still have the same amazing experience that you can on a disc-based version of a PlayStation 5. And especially if you're like me and mostly buy your games digitally, then definitely look at the PlayStation 5 Diskless Edition because it's a great console. Before I end this video, I do want to say that I've spent more time on my Xbox Series X than I have on my PlayStation 5. And that's just purely because of the game that I'm playing right now. I'm playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the Series X. It's a very long game. I'm already like 35 hours into it, but I'm still playing it. And I spent about 25 hours on the PlayStation 5 just because I finished the 2 games I wanted, and I'm kind of still excited about Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So I'm really enjoying the Xbox Series X as well. So there's no discrimination over here from my side. I enjoy both consoles and both are great, but just the PlayStation 5 just felt a little bit more special to me in terms of the newness of it, the new controller, the new operating system, the new experience of it. I just think it feels more next gen than the Xbox Series X. Anyway, those are my thoughts about the PS5. Let me know what you guys think of the PS5. Are you still looking for one? Were you able to get one? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to watch more videos like this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.